Wild and Free Art. Today we are going to do part 2 of making our nice 3D journal, and we are going to work on the binding. This is the complete binding. I have already punched the holes just to get it ready, and I'm going to show you how to do what I call the double diamond binding. So I'm going to try something different today, and I'm going to show you how to do it both on a piece of cardstock and with the actual signatures. In order to make things easier, I have numbered the sewing stations and put letters on for the different signatures because we're going to be skipping things around and I don't want it to get too confusing for you. So the basic idea is to make a zigzag. You're going to be working on 2 signatures at a time. So in this case, you'll be working on signature A, signature C, and then signature B, and signature D. So here I am just adjusting my little post-it notes because I made a mistake, because that's how you are with the order of things. I forgot about the way that things had to be worked on. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we're going to do this with the cardboard. So you're going to basically work your way zigzagging across, and then you're going to zigzag your way back down using those 2 signatures. Now, on the inside of the signature, you're only going to be going straight, and on the outside, you're going to zigzag. So it seems harder than it is, but it's not as bad, I promise. All right, so here I'm going to get started in showing you how to do the binding. I have my 2 signatures that I'm going to work with first, which is A and C, and I'm setting B and D aside at the moment. And just before I start stitching them into the actual book, I'm going to get everything ready and show you how to do the first 2 signatures with the piece of cardstock. So we're going to start from the inside of the signature, so in this case the back of my piece of cardboard. We are going to start in signature A, right? I called it A, and then we're going to zigzag across to signature D. Leave a tail on the inside, of course. Then remember that these are signatures on the other side, so you can only go up. You go up, back out the next hole or sewing station, and then you're going to zigzag it back across to signature A. And then you're going to repeat. You go up 1 step on the inside, go through, and then zigzag across to the next station in signature D. Then you're going to go up in the back, of course. Again, you're inside your signature here, and you're going to come out the top. Now, we're going to zigzag our way back down. So you're going to go down from C to A through the hole. And you're basically repeating the same thing on the way back down, except you're going to go up first to get that last hole, and then you're going to go back down. So you're going to go up 1, poke through that last hole, zigzag through C again. So now you're going to start seeing the crisscross pattern come out, so just X's. Okay, you're going to go down a step on the back of your signature inside your book, and we are going to now go back down. So you don't want to be overlapping on the inside. So that's pretty much it. Basically what we're going to do is fill in the inside so that there's no spaces by working our way up and down in a zigzag pattern on the outside and up and down on the inside. So again, you come out, you cross over to the next one, step down, and zigzag your way back up this time again. This is where you can, of course, at this point you can tie off your tail that you left, or you could wait till you're done. It's up to you. You could have done it just earlier with a knot, whichever way works best for you. That's how I chose to do it. So now you've tied your knot off, and you're going to go up back into the the hole that you want to be coming out of again, without taking papers, obviously, because that's what I like to do. And then you're going to keep your zigging and your zagging. So you're going to crisscross back through the same hole again. And when you go through, just be careful not to catch the thread again or go through the previous one, because that just makes a mess for it later and it makes it harder to keep the tension going. Anyway, so you're going to, of course, you're going to step up and then bring your X up. So you're just going to keep doing the same thing until you have made your nice series of X's and filled in all the gaps on your in your signature. So once you've reached the top, you can't do another X. You're going to go back down again through that, make your X, fill in the gap on the inside, which you still have. There you go. And you're going to make another X down to fill in that final gap. And then you're just going to tie it off on the back using a square knot or however you like. This is why I said that you don't necessarily need to tie off your tail. You could just leave it a knot, because you are going to come back to your starting point, and you can just as easily just use the two threads to tie it back together again. But again, as you prefer, I don't mind having the double thing in the back, but that's fine for me. So now I am going to redo the same thing using the actual signatures in the book, and it will be a bit more faffing about, you'll see, because you got the signatures flying all over the place and papers and stuff like that. So you just have to be patient. It isn't difficult, it just needs patience. So let's get started with doing the same thing in the actual book with the signatures. First off, you're going to want to measure your thread. You're going to want to do, I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, 2 times the length of your signatures. You could go 2.5 just to be extra safe and not run out of thread, because who wants that? Then you're going to thread the needle, and you're going to start using the same 2 signatures that you did before, so A and C. I pre-punched the holes in the spine before the video just to make it easier and faster. Obviously, you do that, of course, following your template that you have made. So we're going to start by starting with the inside of one signature, and then going out the corresponding hole on the binding. And then we're going to start with the zigging and the zagging and the putting everything together. I have sped the video up just a little bit because, you know, it took some time, and I don't think you want to sit here watching me sew for a good 30 minutes or so. So I figured it would be best to speed it up. So yeah, then I've come in, and then on the next signature, I go up 1 step, go through the corresponding hole in the binding, come out, and this is where I realized that I started the signatures in the wrong spots. So I changed the order of my signatures, but it's not a big deal. The technique is still exactly the same throughout. So again, I am back into the hole and the corresponding hole on the inside of the signature, coming in, going a step up, and then coming out the next level, next sewing station, onto the spine all the way up. So once I've come out the top, before progressing on my next step going down, I'm going to just check everything, give a little bit of a tug to everything to make sure that the tension is as it should be before heading on my way back down and across. So here we go. We're going down for the first time, and then we're going to go up, and then we're going to go down again. So we just keep going in through the spine, through the signature with the corresponding hole, step down or step up into the next one, and zig basically and zag all the way across until you've gone up twice and down twice and filled in all your gaps. Having completed another round of going up and down, I decided it is time to give it another tighten. So I'm just basically following all my stitches up and down again so as to be sure that everything is nice and tight as it should be with the right tension. After I finished tightening everything, I completed the stitching pattern just like I showed you on the little piece of cardstock, and then I tied off the binding and got everything ready for the next set of signatures. Okay, so having finished the first set of signatures, we're now going to move on to the next ones, which are B and D. And basically, we are going to be repeating exactly the same process that I will be showing you here using these two signatures instead. So you're going to go from the inside, you're going to cross over, you're going to go back through, you're going to then step up, and you'll start seeing the double diamond pattern emerge now as the crisscrosses begin to overlap each other. And it's really a satisfying moment when you see that start to happen. So I'll just speed this up a little bit, not too much, so you can just watch how it all comes through again, and then I will be showing you how I sewed in the signatures, and then you will see the finished binding result. Just looking gorgeous. Now for the final step, I'm just going to tie it off on the inside just like we did with the other one, and we are ready to give it a go on the real deal. Now here you'll probably see lots of my fiddling around on this one because once you got the 4 signatures it gets a bit more complex, but it was, it's basically the same thing except that you have to flip through a lot more pages to get to the middle of your signatures. But I hope you enjoy watching the rest and seeing it come alive on the actual journal itself. I'm just tying off that final set of signatures. And we are finally done binding them in. I hope that you've enjoyed this mini tutorial on how to do this double diamond or double cross stitch binding, and I really hope that you give it a try. It's a little bit of a finicky one, but it is not difficult. I know I've said that a few times during the video, but I just want to reiterate it, that sometimes they seem complicated, but they're actually not so bad. So if you've enjoyed this, let me know what you think in the comments below, and please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. You should be seeing a flip through of the final piece in just a couple days. I hope you've had a wonderful time and have a wonderful weekend. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye bye.